Stoa is a digital campfire where we cohere in dialogue about what matters most at the knife's edge of what's happening now.
The Stoa is a digital campfire where we gather and cohere at the knife's edge of this moment. And today we are joined by Laurence Currie-Clark, LCC, in the room, and he is going to invite us into a game, Glass Bead Game. So, LCC, welcome to the Stoa. Thank you for being here. I'll also mention this was advertised as 60 minutes, but we will stay likely up to 90. So if you want to stick around for a bit longer, you are free to do so. Get in more games. All right, LCC, welcome to the Stoa.
Thank you, Tyson. Welcome everybody, every mind and every soul to the Glass Bead Game. Before we do anything at all, I would like to invite you to do a bit of dematrixing. We're going to break out of the trance that we bring into this space. We're going to shake it free from our body, and we're going to prepare to spin ourselves a new trance. So I'd like to invite everybody to stand up, to let their body shake, to shake out all the tension in their body, especially let out the tension inside of your jaw. We're going to be talking tonight. We're going to be playing with the tongue. So let that jaw loose. And don't be afraid to speak in tongues. Let your tongue speak its own language. Shake it all out. Shake out all the day. Shake out this whole year of 2020. Shake out the last decades of your life until there's nothing left. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in that switch, that spin, breaking out into a new space. I now invite everybody to join in a brief meditation. Make yourself comfortable. Slow down your breath. Empty the mind. Return to nothingness. And keeping your eyes closed, allow me to explain the framework of the Glass Bead Game, or better said, the play frame. A civilization 150 generations old found itself on the cusp of a techno-Cambrian explosion. It was called to shape this great wave of evolution. But soon they realized that they had been dispossessed of their law, of their idols, of their language, of their icons, and that they were caught in a trance spun long ago that wouldn't stop spinning. How were they going to break this old trance and start spinning a new one? How could they start spinning a new turn that would save them from a potential dystopia and lead them, they hoped, towards utopia, the good place? Their method would be to reclaim their symbolic territory, to reclaim their language, to reclaim their icons, to reclaim their idols. And give birth to a new noosphere that would nourish them all. Thank you everybody for your attention and welcome to the Glass Bead Game. Today we're going to be co-creating the truth process by cultivating our individual perspectives and exploring their synergies. The Glass Bead Game, in its most basic form, is played between two players, each taking 1-minute turns to explore a specific topic and trying to interconnect as much as possible during the conversation to try and generate from the individual perspectives a synergy. The topics that we play with serve as portals into the noosphere. They try and represent fundamental concepts that serve as a portal into the whole interconnected web of ideas. By entering into any portal, one enters into all portals simultaneously. But the topic serves as an anchor for each game. So the two players use that as a starting point to explore their own perspective and the space in between their perspectives. There's only one rule really, which is to take turns. But there are ideals to the game. The first ideal is that we avoid the use of I and you to bypass the ego, enter into the collective intelligence, and tap into the distributed consciousness. We also try to intertwine our moves as much as possible with the other player's moves, to try and create as many points of interconnection by paying close attention to the other player and nourishing the other player with our attention so they feel listened to and they feel called to express more and more. And finally, we try and concentrate as much of our truth, as much of our perspective into each of our moves. Some tips for play. If you by accident use I or you, which is very common, don't worry about it. Just observe it let it flow past. Because the most important thing is the flow. Try and speak faster than you can think. Let yourself be surprised by the truth which is inside of you, which you never thought was there. The great temptation of the game is to start thinking about what you are going to say when the other person is speaking. Remember to pay attention to the other. Nourish the other with your attention. Take in their move in its entirety. And trust yourself that you have something to say. Something will emerge. And finally, remember that sound is as valuable as silence. I'm now going to invite Tyson to play a presentation game with me, so everybody can get an idea of the flow of the game, of how it's played. So for this purpose, we're going to be using the game timer. Everybody can find the game timer on the website glassbeadgames.com that Michael has just posted into the chat. And when we go into the breakout rooms, this is what's going to allow you to synchronize the games together. So everybody's going to be on the same timer. Everybody's going to be playing simultaneously. So maybe there'll be some kind of weird synchronicities going on, or maybe not. But for now, seeing that only Tyson and myself are going to be playing, we're going to connect to glassbeadgames.com. We're going to go to timer, and the reference for the first game is initiation. So you'll see there's a timer reference where you type in initiation and you click join. Is that working for you, Tyson?
Yep, I pressed join, and now I see initiation. Game duration will be 11 minutes. Game inactive.
Okay, great.
Just tell me when you want to go, Laurence.
Thank you, Jen. So before the game, we begin with a 1-minute meditation to empty the mind. Remember, resist the temptation to think about what we're going to say, Tyson. I shall do my best to do the same. And I invite everybody to join us inside of this meditative space. And then we're going to play 10-minute game, 5 turns each. And we'll see where it takes us. So, Jen, please take
Laurence,
us
do you
away.
want me to drop the topic in at the end of the meditation?
Yes, please, Eric. You know the topic. So we don't know the topic right now, but at the end of the meditation, Eric will drop the topic in, and I will begin, if that's all right with you, Tyson. Okay, here we go. Jen, take us away.
Topic is truth.
Truth, the synergy of all perspectives. The synergy of all perspectives, be they human and otherwise. Learning to listen to the truth of the earth, learning to listen to the truth of the moon, learning to listen to the truth of the stars, of the dark matter, of all of the space. Learning to listen to the truth of the in-between. Learning to clean one's ears. Learning to clean one's eyes. Learning how to repair broken spectacles. Learning how to stare into the sun and not get blinded. Learning how to hold one's breath underneath the waves without drowning.
Cleaning my ears, cleaning the eyes, diving into fresh, cold water, being cleansed of spiritual gunk to be more clear and capable of knowing the truth if it were seen, if it were presenting itself. Truth. Where does the path of truth lead? Pulling my spectacle lens out of my pocket after it fell out of my glasses. I'm seeing kind of strangely now. I'm using eye, seeking for the true way to play, the true way to be here with others. Staring at the sun.
Seeking the connection with all of the dimensions of being and mixing them, blending them together, separating them into their different waves and then recombining them into that white light. Every color, every frequency. The verticality, climbing up the mountain and then touching the depth of the oceans. Wearing strange glasses, wearing a monocle, spending a day with one eye closed, purifying the self so that the truth may enter, emptying the vessel, being too full to be able to drink another sip, regurgitation.
Get it out. Distractions, self-imposed limitations, little chips of dust on the spectacles, cracks. Let me just stomp on these right now. Heal the sight, heal the vision, heal the eyes. Heal the ears. Truth is here. What is being found? What is being found? What wants to happen? Out of our own way, out of my own way. She's out of her own way. We're all out of the way. Fusion. Two eyes so that I can see. Your perspective so that I can see.
Finding the truth when one is not looking for it. Stumbling over what one thought was a great stone, but was actually just a tiny little condensed pill of truth. A truth SIBO. A pill so potent that if one was to swallow it, it would explode one's mind. Learning how to swallow. Learning how to digest. Learning how to breathe. Breathing onto a mirror which is so close to one's face, it becomes all smoky and one can't even see oneself. Smashing the mirror, placing it onto a sphere, spinning the sphere, looking into all of the different reflections.
Looking into all the different reflections. Looking through strange glass windows. Looking to the bottom of the well. Don't dirty the well. Watching fish. Watching very closely. Swimming. Just keep swimming. Thinking, overthinking, wondering, projecting onto the perspective of other people, what it is that they're thinking, unthinking, not thinking, being, looking back into the well now.
Trapped at the bottom of a well that has been poisoned, that never stops vibrating, one can never find the stillness. Trapped at the bottom of a well whose walls are made of mirrors, infinite reflection, can't make any sense. Every time one moves, the water ripples, can never become still, and it can never repair. The poison still grows, still thickens more and more, more and more.
Thickens more and more, like the sound of the microphone as it changed. Thickens more and more, like the density of thought, working to make sense and come to truth. The water's getting thicker, it's moving slower, it's viscous. I'm swimming in maple syrup. Silliness, humor, play, unknowingness, something. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for something great to happen. Maybe it can spark a smile. Maybe joy will be felt. It'll ripple miles. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Doing, frantically doing, searching, running, rushing. Left turn, right turn. Things are moving quickly now. Velocity. Switching, unknown, mystery, embarrassment.
Embarrassed by one's incapability to tell the truth. Always caught in a great wave of lies that began before our birth. Through us, lies continue to flow. Through us, truth continues to flow. If we can tap into those past waves, we can keep those waves crashing onto the shore, crashing onto the shores of the mind, paying attention to the lies that we are being fed, learning to shape those waves, to shape those symbols, to project.
Saying what is meant, meaning what is said. Moving slowly with patience, discernment, quickly in the moment, knowing. Boom, shift, deflect, redirect, dodge, connect. Here, now, what's going on? Checking it out, shining a flashlight, hearing a sound, look over there, bounce, move, quick, fast, slow. I want the truth. Truth is wanted, something that is felt, not comfort from safety, but a knowingness, a here-ness, a belonging to the land. Something that is being done together, a pursuit, a pursuit now. Wonder, curiosity, completion.
Thank you, Tyson. Good game.
Thank you.
So I hope that gave everybody an idea of the space inside which there is to play. We're now going to break out into rooms of 2, and everybody's going to get an opportunity to play the game. I invite you all to go to glassbeadgames.com if you haven't already, and click on the timer. And when asked for the reference, type in initiation. You'll then have a few minutes to get ready. And after a few minutes, we'll press play on the timer. All the timers will run simultaneously, and there'll be a 1-minute meditation. You will have 10 total turns, 5 each. Choose who is going to begin before you start. And the topic will be truth.